Hello, I'm Darren again. Welcome to my Mental Health Information and Awareness channel. Now, today's topic is following on from a question. The question was, what would life in a relationship with a vulnerable or a covert narcissistic wife be like? So today we're going to focus on life with a narcissistic wife, a vulnerable narcissistic wife. So let's look at behavior number one. She is in a constant state of unfulfillment and disappointment. This is how she lives. And she wants her husband to live that way as well. She wants him to be under a constant stress. And if he does offer something, anything at all, anything that might be in her best interest, something she might like, something she could really use, she'll find a way to refuse it. So she gets to stay in that state of unfulfillment and disappointment and be able to point it out to others. It's the husband's fault. Because she lives, like I said a moment ago, she lives under a continual strain. Everything is difficult. Everything is exhausting, and she lives in a constant state of having to recover. Anything the husband does to offer to help, support, or to make easier, if it's not rejected, it won't be enough. Next up, the husband, by default, is always wrong. Everybody else is right. If the husband, say for example, was to get attacked, get assaulted, she would want to know what he did to provoke it. She will jump to the default setting of there being something wrong with the husband. He is the one who is always at fault. And no matter what his skill set, anything he does, anything he might do about the house, she will find fault with it. She may even get someone else in to do it better. And eventually, again, I often say we only have so much capacity. Eventually, he may stop even trying, and that fits her narrative. Anything else he does achieve, he maybe gets a promotion, he not just completes but wins a marathon or something, that is never ever going to be pointed out to anyone. She would never even bring that up as a topic of conversation because, again, it does not fit her narrative. Next up, as is typical with all shades of narcissism, is a lack of empathy. Now, with covert narcissism, I often look at this or think of this as thoughtlessness, because the husband doesn't matter. His problems are his. They are nothing to do with her. Regardless of the effect of her behavior, it's up to him to sort it out. It's up to him to do better. It's the husband's fault because he just doesn't get it. He doesn't understand. Because of her poor insight and her maladaptive coping strategies, she really doesn't understand herself, but she projects this onto the husband. She will make him feel guilty for wanting or needing any kind of connection, any kind of intimacy, and I'm not just talking about sex, any kind of connection whatsoever. She will accuse him of being controlling, sleazy, disrespectful, whatever it is. Next up, she is hypersensitive. Not just sensitive, she is hypersensitive to any kind of criticism at all, even if it's being constructive. And you know what? Even if it's not criticism, even if it's just a different point of view, a different perspective, that hypersensitivity will kick in, and so will her maladaptive coping strategies until he apologizes. Now, normally he has to apologize for how he feels at the way she behaves and the way she treats him. He will be vilified for bringing up anything at all that has her seeming less than perfect. And this is because her self-esteem is so low. Everything at all is processed and taken personally because it's all about her, not about her behavior. And if the husband disagrees, he is attacking her, not her opinion, not trying to change a behavior. He is attacking her because she is a helpless victim, or as I sometimes put it, she is an innocent bystander in her own life. She is an innocent bystander in her own marriage. And with this, of course, with a lot of narcissistic traits, comes double standards because he is responsible for everything. She isn't. He needs to learn, grow, and develop. She's fine as she is. However, he must look within himself if he needs help, support, or company. And she will continually treat him with disdain and contempt, but demand worship and attention. Otherwise, he is bad. Next up, she wants nothing to do with him, other than to own and control him. Other than that, she wants nothing to do with him. But She doesn't want anyone else having anything to do with him either. She will feel uncomfortable at him having any kind of friendships or support from others. Because the truth is, she's envious. She's envious of her partner. But rather than use that envy in a healthy, inspiring way in order for her to grow, she takes joy from his pain. She only feels good if he feels bad. She only feels powerful if he feels powerless. Next up, constant sabotage. Now, it's mentioned earlier, she will spend his money, not hers. She'll spend his. Any discussions they do have, if he says no to something, she'll do what she likes anyway, and come back afterwards with, oh, I thought we agreed. Oh, I thought you had said yes. And regardless of what the husband decides, wants, would like to try, offers, for her, every solution will have a problem. Every silver lining will have a cloud. Next up, she will over-empathize and sympathize with others. Now this helps her to maintain a level of self-esteem, because if others see her as good and caring, she'll feel good about herself. It also works in the sense that it helps invalidate the husband, because as he sees her caring about everybody else and not him, he starts to believe he's not worthy. There's something wrong with him now. So when it comes to the husband, she's either too good for him because he's so bad, or again, misunderstood because he just doesn't get it. There's clearly something wrong with him. And lastly, she has what seems to be what I often refer to as toxic amnesia. And that's why there's no learning or growing as a person. She will be selective over what she remembers. That's why arguments are about the same thing over and over again. If it's not the same thing, it's the same recurring theme. Nothing ever goes away, nothing ever gets resolved. The only thing she'll ever learn are new tactics to do the same thing. Now, an example I often use is, at one point he's telling her how he feels about something, the way she's behaving, and she'll just come back with, I don't accept that. There must be something else wrong with you. Shall we explore what that is? Now, after a while, if this was to be pointed out that that's invalidating, that's very devaluing, comes, I don't understand. What do you mean? I don't get it. What is it again? Are these my feet? What was the question again? Ridiculous kind of circular reasoning, anything at all to avoid any kind of responsibility. And the husband gets frustrated trying to explain himself again and again to someone who has pretty much committed themselves not to understand. So what's going on with the vulnerable narcissistic wife? Well, normally what I think she's doing is she is punishing the husband for the emotional humiliation, unkind humor, learned helplessness that she was taught. Most commonly, I believe, from a narcissistic parent. She doesn't know how to have a healthy, toxic-free relationship. She doesn't know how to be herself. So the husband will not only always be the cause of her pain in her mind, he must be punished for it as well. She wants him to be every bit as alone, emotionally isolated, and in as much pain as she is. So, they're my thoughts on a relationship with a vulnerable narcissistic wife. Okay, now, there are other things such as gaslighting, blame shifting, constant tantrums, and as I mentioned earlier, outrageous illnesses and so on. If you have any thoughts or comments, opinions, please use the comment box below. I like reading your comments and responding to them. Please let me know if there are any other topics you'd like me to cover in future videos. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.